Okay, so this is called the Fabricator, and it's an industrial walking foot machine. And the reason we got it is because a lot of people were asking to work on leather, canvases, sails, real heavy upholstery, fabrics, and whatnot. So I did practice on this the other day, and I went through 12 layers of jeans here, and the stitch is absolutely beautiful. There is 12 layers in there, very thick. There are different size needles for this machine, and all the equipment for this machine is right here. First of all, we have our threads, our scissor, our ruler, our measuring tape, and our manual that we will be referring to a lot for this machine. And our drawer here that has different size needles, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And that's the range for this machine. You're going to be using heavy thread, so you need a heavy needle. Okay, so those are always in this machine, and these do not work on the portable machines that we also have in the department. This is an industrial machine, so they're much longer, and the needle goes from left to right. So your hole would be facing left to right. And there is I should explain, there is a back and a front to the needle. The back has a little dent in it, and the front has a smooth surface. So the back has a little bubble, a little dent in it. And that would be the back. So it would go in the machine this way, sideways. So this is the front. You would go from left to right. Okay? Okay. And we also have different bobbins. Look at these bobbins, they're huge. They're much larger than the other machines, so of course they're not going to work with the portable machine. So we're going to go through the bobbin first, because if you're going to be changing the thread and working on your project, you're going to need a new bobbin. So the bobbin is on the side of the machine, and I did have a little trouble getting today. So you have to push it really hard, okay? And this is where the thread comes from. This can be lowered and adjusted, but we're gonna leave it at this height, it's fine. But the thread comes from the back. So this is the back of the machine. It comes from the back. Well, let me just do it. From the back to the front. So right through this hole, okay? And then it comes down and it goes through the tension, which is to the left, and you bring it up through the tension and then through this hole. And that guides the bobbin, okay? And then we wrap it and leave yourself a tail and lock it. To turn on the machine, you have to go down here to the motor, and then you'll see these red lights. It's on. But this is the motor, so this runs the whole machine. Okay, so we're on, but with an industrial machine, and I'm going to turn this light on for the machine. Now, this is adjustable. You can put it anywhere you like. I don't like it right in front of my face. I like it over here to the side and get it right on the needle, okay? So if you need to refer to the instruction book, it's always right here in our little box for the Fabricator. That's what this machine is called. And it actually is made by Sailrite, so they make sails. And here's the winding the bobbin. Okay, so first I put the bobbin on, go through the tension, and then up through this, the guider, and then wrap it around your bobbin. I did it exactly the way they said. Push this in to lock it. Okay. Make sure that the belt is up against this wheel, because that's going to, because sometimes it slips off. So make sure the belt is up on the wheel. Okay. The machine is on, but you have to get the thread out of the needle. This is not a regular machine where the needle stops moving. This needle is going to move while you're winding a bobbin. You can also wind a bobbin while you're sewing. So if you have a big project, you should have 2 threads up here the same color you're using, one to thread the bobbin and one to work, because they fill up very quickly. They don't give you a lot of thread on this. I have to adjust that a little bit to make it go more. So anyway, we've got to get our thread out of there's always a piece of fabric in the machine when you start. So we're moving the needle up, okay? And this foot here, there is a lever here to lift up the foot on the machine itself. So that's manually, but we also have a knee lift. And we have found that the knee lift will go up, but it also stays up, okay? Which is probably a good thing until you move the wheel and then it goes down. So you want to lift it up, get your fabric out, okay? And then we're going to get the thread out of the needle. And I also recommend that you take out the bobbin for this also. So we need to open this up and get the bobbin out, okay? So there's our bobbin case, and that's got black in it. We're gonna switch to white, okay? So we need to hold on to this because we don't want it to get tangled, because this is going to be all moving while we sew, while we wind our bobbin, rather. Okay, hold on to your tail for the bobbin, and the foot just went down. And you'll see that the foot is moving, the needle's moving, but I'm also winding a bobbin. The pad for lifting the foot is your treadle pedal for the gas, you know, for the movement of this machine. If you go very slightly, it's going to go slow, but if you push it harder, it's going to go faster. You want to have your foot up when you're winding a bobbin. And this bobbin, when it gets full, it's going to pop and stop. There it goes. So we're done doing the bobbin. So we want to cut this off. And it's a little stiff. I'm going to have to loosen this up, but I get it off. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay? So now to put the bobbin in the case. To the top and facing you, drop it into the bobbin. Bring it over to this little niche here. See that? Where the thread goes? And then you lock it in. And then it goes over the top, and it should move clockwise. Thank you. Okay, turn it around, get your lever, okay? And you go underneath the machine and up into the bobbin case, probably if you come up here. Okay, and you just lock it in. Push it in all the way that it goes, lock it. And we don't have any thread in the, we're gonna take out this black thread. So that's the bobbin, and we're gonna bring up the thread in a little while, okay? Okay, so I'm going to take this black thread out, and we are going to wind it with, thread it with black, okay? White. With white, rather. Okay. When you have 3 holes or 2 holes, you always work from the same side. So we work from the front to the back. Okay? 1, front to back. 2, 3. Okay? We have 2 holes here, front to the center, and front to the center. Okay, so see how they wrap around the apparatus here? Start at A, and that goes through the back to the front, okay? This is B. We just did C, and now D is the tension, and it goes over the top, okay? Then through this hole, which is E, and we may end up marking all these on the machine, but you have your book here to help you out. And now we're going through the tension of the machine, and we want to get in that hook, and then you bring it down on this hook, this one, bring your hook up. This one you have to thread through. There is no hook on the hook, which some of the other portable machines have a hook here. This one does not. Okay? And then we're up to, that was G, F, H, H, I, J. This is K. And it gets a little tight when it goes through the tension, so you might have to help yourself along here, because it's a really tight tension. I think I should loosen it a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's K. Now we're going to go down to L. And then there's a little hole here that is M. And they did it magically to make N your last hole, which is the needle. You have to bring the needle all the way to the top. Make sure your foot is down. I have to get the foot down. There we go. Okay, make your needle go all the way up. You can actually sit your hand right on this bar rest here, and then through the needle. It has a very large needle in there, so it's very easy to thread. Okay. And now we're going to bring up our bobbin thread. You do that manually with the wheel to bring up the loop, and you'll see a loop. Okay. Make sure your foot is not near the pedal when you're working near the needle. Okay. That can be dangerous. Okay, so we've got both threads up, and I just want to get this bobbin thread underneath the, I'm using my leather and my knee to get this in, and we're ready to sew. Okay, this is an industrial machine. It does work faster than normal machines, so be careful of that. And I have an upholstery fabric here, which also has like a sticky back. So if you work on this on a regular machine, it just might not work. The walking foot will walk over it, and you'll see that. Now we have found that the lever for the knee lifts up the foot and leaves it up there until you're ready to sew. So when you hit the pedal or hit the wheel, the foot will come down. Okay, and there it goes. So we're ready to sew. I'm just stepping on the pedal. I'm going very slow. And in order to go into reverse, you want to make sure there's nothing underneath this lever, because, you know, if you had a spool of thread here or something, that would stop you, because you need to push it all the way down to go backwards. Okay, and then go forward. Do you see how the foot walks? Okay, and also the measurements on the machine are 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch. They don't go by 5/8. And most of the time with industrial equipment and upholstery stuff, 1/2 inch seams are usually very what we all use. Okay, so you don't pull, you don't push, you don't shove. You let the machine do its work, and you can go very fast. But that's when you get used to the machine, okay? I'm at the end, so I'm gonna backstitch, and I'm gonna take this out. Make sure your needle is all the way up in order to pull this out. Otherwise, the thread may break, and it just did. No problem, it's right here, okay? I find that the tension is very tight, and I think it has to be for this heavy thread, okay? So you just have to rethread your last 3 LMN, okay? Can't get this. There we go. Okay. Your foot has to be down to thread the needle. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. It's sewed really nicely. And now I'm going to go to the outside and top stitch it. Okay. Like I said, your lever for your knee holds the foot up until you get ready to sew. And then when you sew, it drops down. So you can go pretty fast, but you can also go very slow. And make sure your hands are away. Do not have your fingers way up here. Away from the foot. Because that's a very thick needle. Okay. There you go.